Good morning. My name's James Harding. I'm the editor of The Times, and we all hugely appreciate the time you've taken out at this extremely busy and uncertain time for all of our businesses to talk about what's happening in the world, and in particular how we as a country are going to find growth in the weeks, months and years to come. Let me start with a small party political broadcast. I often say to people that this is the most exciting time to be a journalist since the advent of television. And in no small part, that's because with the arrival of the iPad, iPhone, whole range of Android tablets, and not to mention what we can do on the web, you're seeing the possibility of telling stories in a host of new ways. For us at the Times and the Sunday Times, this is also added by the sense that they are being really appreciated and most importantly by business readers. And so the party political broadcast is to thank you for the support that you give us. We were hugely gratified to see that more than half the business decision makers in the UK turn day in, day out, week in, week out to the Times and the Sunday Times. And I, in a particularly small-minded and petty way, take great pleasure from the fact that the Times packs a 34% bigger punch with business readers than the Financial Times. So thank you for that. I have a colleague, Phil Collins, who used to write speeches for Tony Blair. And it's quite a difficult business writing speeches. And he tells the story of how when Blair went to Ireland, he crafted this really lovely speech about how when Dr. Johnson was walking with Boswell through the back streets of London, he saw two people arguing, two women arguing in one of those very, very narrow streets, you know, the ones that are just behind Fleet Street. And there are two women leaning out of their windows and hitting each other with broomsticks or with mops. And Johnson turns to Mr. Boswell and says, you see, my friend, these two women will never agree. They are arguing from different premises. And this was a line that Phil Collins was very pleased with, and he inserted it in Tony Blair's speech at the beginning of quite an awkward conversation in Northern Ireland. And Tony Blair reaches the end of this rather high-minded joke, and he says, and you see, my dear friend, these two women are arguing from different buildings. And poor old Phil is left at the back of the room thinking, oh, it just died. And yet when I look around at the choices that the business world faces and try to understand why it is that we are at a time of such extraordinary uncertainty, it looks to me because you're seeing so many people arguing from different premises, from different buildings. If you look inside the euro, the Greeks are bound to an idea of Athenian democracy, the Germans are fearful of a return to Weimar inflation, the French just want to be French and make sure that they can continue to run Europe. If you look outside St. Paul's Cathedral, you have empty tents mostly, but campers who have a sense of fury with capitalism. You have clerics who are terrified about being drawn into it, and you have the city who doesn't know how to respond. But most importantly in this country, you seem to have an argument about growth. And the argument about growth is clearly an argument between two camps arguing from different premises, different buildings. One is an argument which says, without austerity, we will not have the confidence in order to grow. And the other is an argument that says, without growth, we're not going to be able to even make the improvements to our economy to repay the debts that are essential to providing that confidence. And there are clearly two very different views. There is, if you like, the Plan A and the Plan B view in the political world, and increasingly you hear it in boardrooms too. And I hope what we will be able to do this morning with what I think you'll agree with me is a really fascinating group of people is try to get to grips with how the UK grows, where are the pockets of really promising growth, and try between us, firstly in a conversation with our panel, and then I hope including all of you in the room, a conversation about the economic fate of this country.